Hey guys, in this video that you're about to see, I made pork chops in the crock pot that are very tender. I did not film the first part of the browning process because I started cooking and I spaced starting to film. It dawned on me after I started that I should record this. Teaching a couple of people how to make some easy things right now. So, yeah, I'll just explain the process in the beginning. Sorry about my messy hair. Hadn't brushed it. I just turned on the camera and started doing my thing. Hope you enjoyed the video. YouTube. It's Christmas Eve and I'm going to teach you how to do a quick crock pot dinner. This will work for chicken or pork chops. I am teaching a couple of people how to cook a few things, and I started my dinner for tonight and thought maybe I should film this. So I'm sorry it's a little last minute, but I'll explain what I've done so far and how to go from there. Let's go and check out the pork chops. This will also work for chicken. So, heading to the kitchen. So in this pan, I just browned. I didn't cook them all the way through. I just browned some pork chops. To get pork chops or any meat tender, there's a few things I did. I poke holes in it and I do a salt water brine for about a half an hour. And then I put a little meat tenderizer on it and let it set for about 20 more minutes. The salt water brings some flavor back in and it tenderizes the meat. And then I've put it in with some oil to brown. Because I'm doing this in a crock pot. I wish I had filmed this. So over here, sorry about the mess, I've got the browned pork chops, I've got the potatoes, I've got the carrots. I've seasoned these with some poultry seasoning. Poultry seasoning goes great with chicken or pork. It's got sage, rosemary, and a few other things in it. Garlic powder, onion powder, celery seed, rosemary, salt and pepper. And rosemary and the garlic also go great on the potatoes. So I'm going to do a couple of things. We need liquid in this pan. When you do meat and potatoes together, you can put a couple potatoes on the bottom to keep the meat from sticking. And then you want to put the rest of the potatoes around. And carrots always go on top because they cook the softest. So what I'm going to do is I want to get as much flavor out of this pan as possible. And I'm going to turn this liquid into gravy once the crock pot's done. So you can deglaze this with broth, you can deglaze this with water or wine. I'm going to put some water in the pan and just try to get these bits up. So you just kind of want to turn this on low and scrape the pan. You know, everything kind of sticks to it. This is what puts the flavor back into the gravy and the meat, are these parts of it that stick. This makes cleanup a little easier too. So I'm gonna let that. You can skip this step. You can just throw everything into the crock pot and, you know, do your sauce or your broth. I'm gonna be cooking this in some chicken broth. Sometimes we'll use cream of chicken soup, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm turning this into gravy later. I'll be right back once I'm done with this. So you don't have to put this in the crock pot. That's just what I'm going to do today. You can set this aside and just turn it into gravy with some gravy mix and broth later. I'm just going to kind of do it. So I'm going to put this down so that I can use both hands. This is a shallow pan. But you just kind of, when you're doing this, you just kind of do it until all the stuff's off the pan. You do it on medium-low heat, and then you won't have anything to scrub off later. This is what gives gravy and meat often that roasted flavor when you've made Thanksgiving dinner or a nice pot roast. All right, guys, got my mess cleaned up, got the chicken broth into the pot. If you were to just do something like cream of chicken soup, you could probably do gravy in here, but I don't want to do it like that. You can add the gravy the last hour and it'll thicken up. Back on target here, you can, if you were doing cream of chicken soup, you wouldn't need to really necessarily do gravy. I'm going to put this on high because I am doing I'm going to run some errands and I want this done before 5 o'clock tonight, 6 o'clock. If you were going to be gone 4 to 6 hours, you do high. If you're going to be gone 8 hours, 6 to 8, you would do low. You really don't want to go much longer. But having the pork chops or the chicken browned before, you can even do this with steak. That's going to give it just more flavor. And just cooking it slow will tenderize it, but doing the steps I did before will turn any tough cut of meat into something that is really easy to do, to eat and to chew. Pork chops are a little tough on my stomach, so I don't eat a lot of pork, but you buy what's on sale. So that's what I'm doing. I'll come back later when this is done and I'll make the gravy. Well, guys, it's been a good 7 hours. Let's check on dinner. I've got some of the browning liquid that I'm going to turn into some brown gravy with some gravy mix. Potatoes are perfect. Carrots aren't too crazy. Oh man, those are tender. I'm going to get this stuff out and put into a pan to be dished up, and then I'm going to get the gravy going. I'll show you what everything looks like. Well, guys, this is what it looks like. It's not fancy, but, you know, it's in a pan. I just snapped the carrots in half. Normally I peel them and I cut them, but I'm trying to get as much nutrients out of it, so I've cleaned them and left the skin on. The potatoes are whole, and guys, this is just falling apart. If I have to eat pork, this is how I'll do it. And this works amazing for chicken. The chili, I mean, it'll just shred if you do it this way for chili verde. Don't really like pork gravy, so I've got some of the pan drippings in here with some water and a cup of just good old McCormick. I'm mixing this in, and then I'm going to take some of the what's in here, and I'm going to add this to the gravy mix. And I'm just going to put that over the potatoes. You know, I don't like pork gravy, but when it's mixed with brown, it's fine. So I'm going to get some broth in here. I'll be right back. Well, guys, it's done. I'm going to turn this off and go eat. You know, I got a little broth in the bottom with some shredded pork chops. That's enough in of itself. I could throw some vegetables in and there's some pork chop soup. Waste not, what not. I am gonna go get this emptied out, go eat, and get the bones from the turkey in here so that I can make some bone broth. Talk to you guys later.